folks, welcome back to the channel's Highest Gear Reviews. So once again, I'm Lou Thomas, and thank you so much for joining my little YouTube channel. Hey, if you can do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, maybe hit the like button if you like the video. Helps me out as far as getting some new vehicles for you guys, okay? So hey, today I'm proud to present to you the 2022 Ford Maverick. Now this one took me a while to get, mostly because the dealers have pre-sold them all, so I managed to pick this one up of a Turo actually. But anyway, let's take a look at it. This one, like I said, is going to be the 2022 Ford Maverick. This particular one's the XLT. This is also the all-wheel drive version. So as you can tell, kind of brand new for the market as far as for Ford goes, right? Ford's been around the truck game for quite a while. Of course, the F-150, pretty much the leading vehicle sales in the world as far as pretty much any vehicle. So Ford knows a thing or two about pickup trucks, right? So this one here is going back to the old days of kind of the compact trucks. If you guys remember that, kind of when I was in high school back in the 80s and stuff, it was kind of cool to have a little compact truck. Didn't quite look like this though, but pretty cool truck. So like I said, this one is kind of the compact version. So it's going to be smaller than the Ford Ranger, which is obviously, of course, smaller than the F-150. So let's take a look at this particular one that I got today. So this one, like I said, is the XLT. Does have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Pretty high horsepower. It's about 250 horsepower you're going to get out of this little truck. This particular one is also, of course, an automatic truck. It has a 8-speed automatic transmission in the XLT. You can go with a front-wheel drive version as well, like the XL, that kind of stuff. That one's going to give you a bigger engine, but no turbo, so a 2.5 engine. It's also kind of a hybrid engine, has 2 electrical motors. That one's going to give you about 191 horsepower. It's going to put out about 37 miles per gallon, so that's pretty impressive as far as the hybrid version. This particular one, about 27 miles per gallon or so with the turbo. Like I said, 250 horsepower, 0 to 60 time, and those pretty impressive. I mean, it's about 5.7 seconds in the turbo configuration that we have here today. As far as price points for these, I mean, you can pick up a Maverick, if you can find one that is, for about $20,000 right on the nose. To add the all-wheel drive is going to add about $2,200 extra. And of course you can go up from there, from the XL all the way to like the limiteds or the more advanced versions and higher trim packages. So like I said, this XLT is kind of a nice little package, kind of in the middle of everything. Some other features on it, as far as bed capacity on all the Mavericks, it's going to be about 1,500 pound bed capacity. Towing capacity kind of ranges as far as what engine and what configuration you get. They start at about 2,000 pounds towing capacity, go up to about 4,000 pounds towing capacity as well. As far as bed size, they're about 4.5 foot bed size on it. If you drop the tailgate, that's going to add about 1.5 feet or so, so it's about 6 feet as far as a flat surface back there. You can fit your 4x8s in there, all that kind of stuff. As far as your decking and all that kind of stuff, or plywood sheets and all those kinds of things that you might need to take. As far as safety features, it has pretty much everything on it, right? You can get the adaptive cruise control, stability control, lane keep assist, of course, anti-lock brakes. This particular one has kind of like a 4-wheel drive independent suspension system since it's all-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive, surprisingly enough, has the torsion bar suspension, which is very dated, but evidently it works, right? I mean, they've been using it for years and years. So let's take a closer look at the Ford Maverick. Oh, one thing before I go, as far as tire size, in case you're interested, this one's running with Continental tires. They're going to be about 225, 65, 17s. Kind of cool as far as like a nice rim design and everything like that. So, kind of an intermediate tire, just all-season type of a tire. So let's take a closer look at it. All right, so as far as front end design, so like I said, this is all new, right? Ford's kind of going to this kind of signature looking light setup on all of their pickup trucks, kind of following the same design as well. The kind of blacked out grille and all that kind of stuff. These little inserts here, I'm assuming you could probably get fog lights and some other packages and that kind of stuff. You do have like your LED headlights here. And actually, yeah, LED headlights, turn signals are just standard bulbs, it looks like. But kind of a cool looking front end, nice looking truck. Nicely sculpted hood over here as well, so everything looks real nice. Coming around, the black cladding obviously goes around, comes around the lower section of the body. You do have like this little insert here, which Ford is doing in all of their trucks as well. No turn mirrors or turn mirror lights on this particular one on this package, but everything else is kind of a nice black trim, so they didn't add too much chrome, which is kind of dated now. And like I said, wheels look really nice, so yeah, good looking front end. As we work our way around to the side of the Ford Maverick. So as you can see, kind of the body cladding, that plastic kind of armor goes all the way down, which is kind of cool. You know, it prevents a little bit of the rock chips and that kind of stuff, I guess. Only side part on it, it's kind of hard to keep clean, and it does kind of like, you know, show kind of color discolorations, I guess you could say, when the dirt gets on. It's kind of hard to keep clean, but it is handy. It does prevent those rock chips, that kind of stuff. Of course, the nice black handles as well. Everything's kind of trimmed real nicely. This is kind of cool, this kind of edge protector that comes around here as well, for when you're chucking stuff in the bed, you don't really damage your bed paint and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, it's kind of a separate, the way that the bed comes in here. There's none of that separation line that you have in a normal pickup truck. It's all integrated into the body, which kind of makes it look a lot nicer as far as flowing and all that kind of stuff. Side parts of that, though, is if you do get into a rear-end collision, it's probably going to be a lot more expensive to repair the bed, because they're going to have to pull all of this out versus just replacing the bed. Kind of has the shark antenna with the big antenna added to it, you know, so I guess, I don't know. It looks okay. But anyway, as far as the side view of the vehicle, looks real nice. Kind of these little sculpted lines coming into here. Nice, clean looking, pretty sharp looking truck. All right, so let's take a look at the back end of the Ford Maverick. So, pretty nice. It's got kind of the imprinted thing here everyone's kind of starting to do with the Maverick logo or name back there. Nice big proud Ford emblem here as well. It does have the towing accessories right here. That's kind of the reason why the license plate's offset. There's just nowhere else to put it, right? It's molded in here. It does have your standard kind of plug settings here. As far as dropping the tailgate, so it's not going to be assisted, but it's very, very light. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it doesn't really have the assist deal in it, but very light tailgate. Once you get in here, it does have 6 hold downs as far as little hold down deals. A couple on there as well. There's a little cubby on the side here, which I don't know what use that would be. Maybe put a couple of little screwdrivers in there. You do have your 12-volt power outlet here as well in this particular one, which is kind of handy as far as, you know, hooking up like a 12-volt device back here. Like I said, about 4.5-foot bed. So if you stack up your wood on it, they say that you can fit quite a bit of, you know, plywood in here, so I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, when you drop down the gate, it does at about 1.5 feet, so you get about a 6-foot bed back here. And of course, closing it back up, like I said, it isn't assisted, but it is very, very light. Let's close it right up, and good to go. Ready to do some work. Go camping, do something fun. All right, so let's pop the hood on our Ford Maverick here. Now, this is kind of a little bit strange. As far as the latch release inside there, you pull it once, then you pull it a second time, and that's what actually opens it up, which I guess once you get used to it's cool. But the first time I did it, you know, I just kind of pulled it and didn't do anything. And it does say in big letters, though, you know, ×2. So then when you pull it the second time, that just completely releases it. So we'll open it up. There's no assist on there, so there's no hydraulic gas or anything to help you get this up. It's a little bit heavy, not too bad. Got the old-fashioned push rod here. I guess kind of goes with the price of the vehicle. As far as the interior of the engine compartment, I mean, everything's where you want it to be. It's not very good looking, but it is a utilitarian type vehicle, right? Everything's accessible, batteries easy to get to, air filters easy to get to. Everything you need to get to is easy to get to, so that's a good part about it as well. So like I said, a little 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbo engine definitely gets you down the road. Well, let's take a look at the interior of the Ford Maverick. So open her up. Door opens pretty nice and wide. Sill height's not too bad. Pretty low sill. As far as seating position, oh, let's see. This is about where I would sit if I was driving this vehicle on a regular basis. So like I said, I'm about 6'5", about 255 pounds, somewhere around there. Feels pretty good. Seat feels a little bit narrow just in the base here, and I will say it is kind of a firm seat as far as the actual base of the seat goes. It does have all your standard controls over here. Lumbar support here, which is a little bit confusing as far as the backrest, kind of back and forward one a little bit. This one does have manual seats, so it just has the pull bar here to slide it forward and everything like that. Steering wheel, it's pretty basic. I mean, nothing exciting. Steering wheel design is it's, like I said, nothing really too exciting. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a basic steering wheel. Good size though, as far as diameter, all that kind of stuff. Interior panels are kind of nicely done. It's kind of this really kind of futuristic-y, I guess you could say, kind of look to it. Has kind of these exposed screws on here, which I'll show you some pictures of, but kind of neat. Has these little orange accents in here. As far as the door panels, they've got some kind of cool texturing look to them. which is kind of like almost looks like a 3D printer kind of printed it out. It's kind of cool looking. It does have these kind of whitish inlays in here to break up the colors a little bit as far as the grays and everything. Of course, power windows, power door locks, all that kind of stuff. As far as seating position, feels good. Visibility feels good. I got a lot of headroom here. I've got probably about 3 inches or so, 4 inches of headroom, and everything feels good. Good dead pedal placement. Accelerator, brake pedal feels like where it should be. So whole and all, from behind the steering wheel, feels pretty good. It does have the tilt and adjustable steering wheel as well, so that's nice to have, and I'm surprised some vehicles don't have that. But yeah, visibility, like I said, looks good, and everything looks pretty good so far. All right, so here we are on the interior of the Ford Maverick. So basic key fob, just has a little kind of switchblade deal, boom, open, close, nothing too exciting on it. I'm sure some other ones probably have the remote start. This particular one doesn't, so just pop it in, let it go for kind of its startup cycle. Like I said, as far as visibility, really good. A-pillars aren't too intrusive, nice windshield visibility. Everything looks good. Like I said, steering wheel, I mean, this one's, like I said, it's kind of a lower trim package, XLT, I guess we'll call it. So it's just kind of the rubberized plastic steering wheel, nothing too exciting there. As far as the gauge control goes, very basic actually. It's kind of an older design. I wish Ford would have stepped that up a little bit, but same thing, it's the price point, right? So you kind of get what you pay for. But very basic gauge as far as analog displays. Does of course have the infotainment deal in the middle of it as well, or as far as vehicle information screen, you can change it for multiple different displays. As far as all the safety settings, units to measure what you want to use, all that kind of stuff. Standard steering wheel controls as far as stereo controls, cruise control, all that kind of stuff. Cell phone controls, all those kinds of things. Normal stems on here, pretty basic as far as what Ford puts in most things. This one does have the trailer package, so this does have that 4,000-pound trailer capacity, and it does have a trailer brake control on the side over here as well. As far as the center stack goes, I mean, it's pretty basic. The screen, pretty good size as far as the base model. I mean, this is an 8-inch touchscreen type deal. The angle is very straight up, so in my opinion, it isn't the most graceful looking thing, but I guess it's practical. There's a cubby here. I don't know what you would use that for. I guess you could, I don't know what you would use that for, to tell you the truth, but there's a cubby there. There's also another one back here just to store some stuff in as well. And got these cool little orange accents in here. Standard heating, air conditioning controls. This one does have kind of a digital temperature display on it as well. Kind of your cubbies in the middle here. Lots of room to keep some stuff, cell phones, some coins, whatever. Another cell phone one here. A couple of standard cup holders. Rotary dial as far as your transmission control, that kind of stuff. Parking control down. You can choose the different modes with the buttons here. The stop start you can turn on and off. There's another cubby here and another cubby here. Kind of a nicely padded armrest. Actually, I kind of wish they would have used this on the steering wheel, to tell you the truth, but this is nicely padded. Pretty good size in there. You can put quite a bit of stuff in there. And as far as the overall dash design goes, it's kind of neat in a way. It's kind of got this, I think it almost looks like Bronco-esque or something kind of look to it, with this kind of actually, I hate to say it, but it kind of looks like a Carian countertop as far as the inlay here. So I don't know if this is like a Carian product or something, but I kind of get what they're doing. They're trying to break up the design, obviously, make it look a little bit more stylish. Dash, nothing too exciting, kind of a, standard old plastics everywhere, but it is what it is as far as the price point. You do get a USB compact, USB, 12-volt outlet there as well. So everything you need. Has kind of these cool looking exposed kind of screws look on there, give it a little bit more of an industrial feel. Sunglass holder up here, a couple lights. Seats, like I said, a little bit narrower in my opinion, but I'm kind of a bigger guy, but they're nice. I mean, they're a little bit firm, like I said, on the base of them, but overall pretty nice seats. So that's kind of what you get. As far as the touchscreen controls go, I mean, I had no problems with it. I thought everything was pretty quick. No issues. Bluetooth, Android, Apple Play, all that kind of stuff. Goes through things pretty quickly. No issues at all. Everything works nice and fast, so good to go. All right, so the moment that people seem to like to see is, do I fit in the back of this vehicle? So driving position is where I would normally set it. Like I said, I'm pretty tall, right? 6'5". So here we go. Let's see if we can get in here. Ugh. Okay, it's tight, but I do fit. So admitted my legs do have to go off to the sides here, but I do fit in here, and I'm not going to get pinched by the door, it doesn't look like. Nope, door's fine as far as closing in on me. It's very close though, obviously, but I do fit in here. So as far as back seat room, headroom's actually really, really good. And once you're in here, it's actually not too bad. I mean, like I said, I'm 6'5". This is a 6'5" driver setup here. So if you're like a normal, you know, like 5'11", 6 foot person, I'd have actually, I think, adequate room back here. As far as things back here in this XLT model, there's not much going on back here, I've got to admit. There is a 12-volt power supply back here, and that's it as far as power goes. And that's one thing I think a lot of manufacturers are missing out right now. I mean, it's only going to cost you a couple more dollars just to add a couple of USB or USB-Cs back here, and you kind of have to do it, right? Because your kids are going to be back here, passengers are back here, everyone's on a connected device, right? Everyone's on a device. There is a fold-down armrest back here. There's a couple of cup holders here, and the adjustable headrests as well. And that's about it. It's kind of got the cool, kind of funky interior as well back here as well. But yeah, so pretty Spartan, but hey, gets the job done. And I can see 4 adults sitting in here pretty darn comfortably, actually. 5 adults, that's going to be uncomfortable, but yeah, not too shabby. So another item I did want to point out is under the seat there is a storage compartment. You kind of pull up on this lanyard here. This lifts up. It doesn't hold itself up, which is kind of a bummer. I wish there was a way to hold this up so when you actually load stuff in there, it doesn't keep falling on you. But it's got a couple of compartments back there, pretty good size. You can fit quite a bit of stuff in there. So, you know, that's handy, a little bit of extra storage room. As far as my driving impressions on the 22 Ford Maverick, it's actually a pretty nice little vehicle to drive. So it doesn't have the bulkiness, obviously, of a full-size truck. Kind of feels like a, well, it does feel like an intermediate-size SUV. Steering is, I'd say it's very light. It's a little bit vague, but I mean, that's just going to be expected, right, for this kind of a vehicle as far as a pickup truck. As far as the brakes go, man, they're ample. I mean, they will woe you down really, really quickly. Acceleration on it is really good. I mean, this little 2-liter turbo engine, I mean, it really gets up and goes. I'm going to go around this corner a little bit carefully, then we're going to give it the beans. But as you can see, I mean, it accelerates no problem. So yeah, it'll get you out of the way of traffic, get you on the highway real quick and no problem. As far as ride comfort, feels pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit firm. You know, it's a shorter, you know, SUV. There is a little bit of noticeable body roll. I do notice that a little bit going around some of these corners here, where you can kind of feel the weight of the vehicle as far as just from the handling of it. So, you know, it's not going to be a major canyon carver, but very ample. As far as room within the cab, excellent. I mean, lots of room. I think you'd be very comfortable in here with you know, a couple of other people or 4 adults, no problem. Instrumentation, like I said, is all good. Dash instrumentation, it's a little bit old-fashioned, but it's adequate, does the job. So all in all, I think they did a pretty good job of it. A little bit utilitarian. There are some other vehicles in the class that are going to kind of give this one a tough run for its money. Of course, the purists or the faithful are going to go all the way back to Ford. And for a starter pickup truck or just a little utility vehicle that'll get you to the mountains, get you camping, throw your bikes in there, whatever you want to do, use it for work, kind of hits every nail on the head. Nice and reliable with fuel prices as they are. I think that's going to be kind of important. So, yeah, not too bad. They did a good job. Well, folks, there you have it, the 2022 Ford Maverick XLT. So like I said, if you're looking for a little compact pickup truck that kind of does everything, and does everything actually pretty darn nicely, take a look at this. There's a few other competitors, obviously, the Hyundai Santa Cruz. Some of the other ones have the smaller pickup trucks as well. But this one, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of the utilitarian one, right? It's the work truck. The one that's going to get the job done, isn't too big, isn't going to break you at the bank as far as buying it initially, and also for the fuel. Very capable little vehicle, and yeah, I guess it gets my kind of like little thumbs up. pretty decent job by Ford. So hey, do me a favor once again, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Hit the like button if you like the video, and we'll come on back and I'll bring you some more videos. Once again, drive safe and take care. Thanks, folks.